Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now, and I want you to lean in and hear me real clear, because this ain't just about a message. This is about a moment, a shift, a revelation. You ever been hurt by someone you gave your all to? I mean, really gave him every piece of your heart, your energy, your loyalty. And then they turned around and threw it all away, like it meant nothing. Yeah, I know that sting. We've all felt it. Let me tell y'all something. One of the hardest, most powerful things you will ever do in your life is walk away from someone you love with your head held high and your dignity intact. I ain't talking about storming off, slamming doors, or sending long paragraphs, trying to explain yourself to somebody who already made up their mind. No, I'm talking about that silent strength, that calm, quiet decision that says, I love me more. See, when someone hurts you, when they lie to you, take you for granted, treat you like you're an option, it breaks something in you. It cuts deep. But you gotta understand that pain. That pain ain't there to destroy you. That pain is a lesson. It's God's way of saying you deserve better, and I need you to see it. And once you see it, baby, that's when you walk. Now, I know it's not easy, especially when you gave your all to someone. You dreamed with them, built with them. Maybe you even saw a future with them. But let me tell you something. Love without respect ain't love. And you can't keep holding on to somebody who's okay with hurting you. If they truly valued you, they wouldn't risk losing you. So when you walk away, you do it, not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to stop settling. You walk away not because you stopped caring, but because you started caring about yourself. That's what dignity is. It's not just leaving, it's leaving with your peace, your pride, and your power. And the crazy part, when you walk away right without drama, without begging, without trying to prove your worth, that's when they feel it the most. That silence, that absence, that glow you start to develop the moment you choose you. It's like a mirror. It shows them everything they lost. And while they sitting there trying to figure out what happened, you're over here living. You're over here building. You're over here. Let me say this plain. Your dignity is priceless. Don't ever trade it for someone who can't see your value. Don't ever lower your standards just to keep someone who's not trying to meet them. Don't ever stay somewhere that's killing your spirit just because you're afraid to start over. You got one life, one shot, one heart, and it's too precious to waste on people who don't know how to treat it. So the next time someone plays you, disrespects you, or tries to dim your light, remember this: you don't need to yell. You don't need to prove a point, and you sure don't need to chase. Just stand up, straighten your back, lift your chin and walk. Let your absence teach the lesson your presence couldn't. Because the most powerful message you will ever send, the one text that'll echo louder than anything you could write, is this: I loved you, I believed in us, but I love me more, and I'm done. And you say it not with your phone, not with your mouth, but with your feet. Now walk. Let me break it down for you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. I know that sounds strange in a world where everybody's shouting, posting, texting, trying to be heard. But when somebody hurts you, when somebody betrays your trust, when they walk out on you like you didn't matter, your first instinct might be to speak up. You want to call them out, let them know what they did, make them feel the weight of the pain they caused. But you gotta understand, silence, oh silence, is a different kind of message. It hits different. Silence says, I don't have to explain myself to you. It says, I'm done giving you access to my energy. It says, you no longer get to hear my voice, see my tears, or feel my presence. See, when you argue, when you respond, when you send that last emotional message, what you're really doing is feeding the connection. You're still giving that person a seat at your table. But when you go quiet, baby, that's when they start to feel it. Now I'm not talking about the silent treatment out of spite or games. I'm talking about the kind of silence that comes from healing. The kind of quiet that says, I'm moving on with grace. That silence, that peace, is powerful. And let me tell you why. Because when a man expects drama and chaos, and instead he gets silence, it throws him off. He's used to the back and forth, the text, the calls, the arguments. But when all of that stops, when your name ain't showing up on his phone anymore, when he realizes you're not watching his stories, not asking where he went, not checking for him at all, that silence starts to echo in his mind. He'll start wondering, did she stop caring? Did she really leave? Did I lose her for real this time? And that's when it hits. That's when the regret creeps in. Not because you screamed, not because you begged, not because you broke down, but because you didn't say a word. because you didn't need to. See, silence is what happens when you choose peace over pain. It's what happens when you realize your worth don't need to be defended, that the person who walked away didn't deserve a front row seat to your comeback. When you're quiet, they have to sit with their own thoughts. They have to process what they did without your voice to distract them, without your tears to ease their guilt. And trust me, that silence, it'll keep them up at night. So don't be afraid to go quiet. Don't feel like you owe anybody an explanation after they made the choice to hurt you. You said enough with your loyalty. You showed enough with your love. Now say the rest with your absence. Let your silence speak volumes. Let it echo. Let it linger. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's power. It's wisdom. It's healing. And it says more than 1,000 words ever could. Let me tell y'all something from deep down in my heart. The biggest breakthrough in your life is gonna come the moment you realize who you are and what you're worth. I'm talking about the day you finally stop begging people to love you. Stop chasing folks who can't see your value. Stop shrinking yourself just to be accepted. That day right there, that's the day you take your power back. You see, too many of us have been taught to settle, to make ourselves small, to put other people's happiness before our own, just to keep the peace, just to feel needed, just to have somebody around. And we end up losing ourselves in the process. We forget that we were born with purpose, that God don't make no mistakes, that everything about you, your heart, your mind, your strength, your light, is valuable. You are not some placeholder. You are not somebody's backup plan. You are not the maybe in someone's life who should have made you there always. The truth is, the minute you recognize your worth, everything starts to change. The way you walk changes. The way you talk, carry yourself, treat yourself, it all shifts. You stop accepting half love. You stop making excuses for bad behavior. You stop entertaining people who don't clap when you win. You start attracting better friends, better opportunities, better love. Because once you know your value, you stop offering discounts. You are a whole blessing, a gift. And the person who couldn't see that, that's on them. Don't you ever let someone else's inability to love you convince you that you're unlovable. Don't you let their brokenness bleed into you. People will project their fears, their insecurities, their selfishness onto you and make you feel like you were the problem. Nah, baby, you were just too much for someone who wasn't ready. Too real for someone who preferred games. Too deep for someone who only knew surface level love. You gotta look in the mirror and remind yourself who you are. Every scar, every tear, every setback, it built you. It didn't break you. It refined you. You're not damaged. You're developed. And anyone who steps into your life better recognize that they're dealing with a queen. A woman who's been through hell and came back holding her crown. Let me say this, and I hope it sinks into your spirit. Your worth is not up for debate. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to convince anyone of it. The right people will see it and respect it from day one. And if they don't, if they overlook you, misuse you, take you for granted, then they were never worthy of you in the first place. Start walking like you know your royalty. Start speaking life into yourself. Stop settling for people who only love the idea of you but not the responsibility of loving you right. Because when you recognize your worth, baby, you stop begging to be chosen and you start choosing yourself. And let me tell you something from a man who's lived a little. The moment you start choosing yourself, that's when life starts choosing you right back. Life has a funny way of knocking you down, just when you think you're finally standing tall. One minute you're in love, you're happy, you're dreaming big, and the next minute you're sitting alone wondering what the hell just happened. That kind of pain hits different, especially when it comes from somebody you trusted, somebody you opened up to, somebody you never imagined would be the one to break your heart. But let me tell you something right now. The setback ain't the end of your story. It's just the setup for your comeback. See, you might be hurt. You might be broken. You might have cried more tears than you care to admit. But what you don't realize is that in the middle of all that pain, something powerful is happening. You're growing. You're learning. You're finding out who you really are. When the world ain't clapping for you, that strength you're building while you're down, that's what's going to carry you to the next level. The comeback doesn't start when everything's perfect. It starts when everything is falling apart, and you decide to keep moving anyway. I know it's hard to believe when you're sitting in the dark, but baby, the comeback version of you, she's a whole different woman. She don't cry the same. She don't break the same. She's been through the fire, and now she's refined. She's wiser. She's stronger. She's no longer accepting the bare minimum. She's walking with her head held high, and she's not apologizing for it. Let me tell you what happens when you survive. What tried to destroy you? You gain this quiet kind of confidence. Not loud, not flashy, but deep, unshakable. You stop explaining yourself. You stop doubting yourself, and you start stepping into every room like you belong there, because you do. You stop wondering if you're enough, because you realize you always were. The person who hurt you didn't break you. They just woke you up. And when they see you later on, smiling, thriving, living your best life, they gon' feel it. Oh, they gon' feel that regret. Not because you tried to make them jealous, not because you posted it all online, but because you rose when you had every reason to fall. You rebuilt yourself. You healed in silence. You worked on your peace. And now you're a walking testimony of what resilience looks like. People always talk about revenge, about getting even. But the best revenge, the real victory, that's when you stop looking back. That's when you look in the mirror and say, I made it through that. And if I can make it through that, there ain't nothing that can hold me down now. So yeah, you might have been set back. You might have been hurt, embarrassed, left out in the cold. But don't stay there. Get up, get focused, get determined. Because what's coming next for you, that comeback, that's gonna make the pain worth it. And when they see you, they'll know. She didn't just survive, she rose. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is the very thing that'll set you free. Letting go. Man, it sounds simple. 2 words. But it holds a kind of weight only the broken-hearted understand. Letting go of someone you once prayed for. Letting go of what you thought was forever. Letting go of the idea, the hope, the potential. It don't come easy. But sometimes God can't bless you with what's next because you too busy holding on to what's already left. See, we get attached. We invest time, energy, love. We give folks chances they didn't even earn. And when it don't work out, we still try to hold on. We tell ourselves, maybe they'll change. Maybe if I just love them harder. Maybe if I wait long enough, they'll realize my worth. But here's the truth. Holding on to the wrong thing too long will rob you of everything that's right. It'll keep you stuck in a place where you were never meant to stay. And growth don't live in places of comfort. It lives in surrender. It lives in release. Letting go don't mean you didn't love. It don't mean you failed. It means you finally realized your peace matters more than confusion. It means you're choosing yourself over chaos. It means you trust God enough to believe that what's behind you ain't better than what's in front of you. Some folks were only meant to teach you, not stay with you. They were chapters, not the whole story. And the longer you try to reread that same chapter, the more you delay the next part. The part where you find joy again. The part where you become the person you were always meant to be. See, when you let go, you make room. Room for new blessings. Room for new lessons. Room for love that doesn't come with conditions. But most importantly, you make room for you. The real you. The one who ain't defined by heartbreak. The one who knows that letting go ain't weakness. It's wisdom. The one who looks in the mirror and says, I deserve more than almost, maybe and someday. You gotta stop watering dead plants. Stop feeding connections that don't feed you. Stop trying to fix people who ain't even trying to grow. That ain't your job. Your job is to show up for yourself the way you always showed up for them. Your job is to heal, to learn, to evolve. And sometimes to do that, you gotta let go of the hands that are holding you back. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to miss them. But don't you dare go back to what broke you just because you're scared of being alone. Alone isn't empty. It's preparation. It's restoration. It's a season where God pulls you aside and says, let me show you what you couldn't see before. Let me build you without distractions. So if you're sitting in a place right now where it feels like letting go is too painful, I promise you, what's on the other side is worth it. Peace is on the other side. Growth is on the other side. And the version of you that's waiting, she's stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than ever. Let it go so you can grow. Now let me tell you something, and I want you to hear this not just with your ears, but with your soul. Your healing is your revenge. Not the clapbacks. Not the petty posts. Not the look what you lost attitude. No. The real comeback, the real revenge, the thing that's gonna echo louder than any word you could ever speak is your healing. Because healing means you didn't let what they did destroy you. Healing means you took the pain. You sat with it and you grew from it. That's strength. That's power. You know what most people expect when they hurt you? They expect you to fall apart. They expect to see you broken, begging, bitter. They expect to hear about you spiral, enacting out or holding on to that anger for dear life. But when you choose healing, when you take that heartbreak and use it as fuel to better yourself, that's when they really start to feel it. Because suddenly you ain't reachable no more. You're not accessible to the mess. You ain't entertaining their nonsense. You're moving different, loving yourself different. And that silence, that glow, that peace, it stings. You see, healing ain't about acting like it didn't hurt. It did. You cried. You questioned your worth. You replayed every memory wondering what you did wrong. But then something clicked. Something shifted. You realized that their inability to love you right had nothing to do with your value. You realized you were showing up fully for someone who was only half ready. And when you finally let go of the need to be chosen by them, that's when you chose yourself. Now here's the thing. They may never apologize. They may never admit they messed up. They may move on like it never mattered. But you don't need that. Because your growth is the proof. Every step forward you take in peace. Every time you laugh again, every time you love again, without fear, that's the loudest message you could ever send. It says you didn't break me, you built me. You healed by walking away, not lashing out. You healed by protecting your peace, not provoking chaos. You healed by pouring into yourself the same way you used to pour into them. And now look at you. Look at the way you're rising. Look at the way you carry yourself. That right there. That's what healing does. It don't just fix what was broken. It creates someone stronger than before. And if you ever wonder whether they regret it, let me tell you this. They do. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But there's gonna come a moment when you're